Padma Shri Professor H.C. Verma is an Indian physicist and an educator who is best known for his contributions to the field of physics education. He has written several books on physics, including the widely popular Concepts of Physics series. His books are widely used by students preparing for competitive exam in India and have been translated into many languages. Professor Verma was born on April 3, 1952 in Darbhanga, Bihar, India. He completed his bachelor's degree in science from Patna Science College and his master's degree in physics from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur. He then went on to complete his PhD from the Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur, where he worked on the topic of laser spectroscopy. Professor Verma has been a professor at the Department of Physics, Indian Institute of Technology, Kanpur since 1994. He has received numerous awards and honors for his work in physics education, including the Padma Shri in 2021, which is one of the highest civilian awards in India. Professor Verma's Concepts of Physics series is known for its clear and concise explanation of complex topics in physics. The books are widely used by students preparing for entrance exams to engineering and medical colleges in India. In addition to his work in physics education, Professor Verma has also published research papers on laser spectroscopy, atomic and molecular physics and optics. Let's meet Padma Shri Professor H.C. Verma.
See, you started with that my books are selling well and students are getting benefited. So what is that? Why? Okay, so way back in 1980s when I was working on this book, this theme of science in the perspective of the lifestyle that our students are living, that was the central theme for that book, and that made it very popular and useful and authentic. And that same thing we are bringing in this Bharatiya Shiksha Board. Our students who are in India, who are living a particular lifestyle, rural, village, urban, all these kinds, to understand that, the cultural background, the social background, and then packaging science in that. That's the theme we are bringing in this. And for example, in class 6 textbooks that we have developed, we are putting each chapter in a story format, because at that age students are naturally interested in listening stories and telling stories. So in our textbook, each chapter of class 6 is a story. It has some events, it has some thrill, it has some satires, and what will happen now, that suspense is there, but we are teaching science. So that is one difference, that we are, this presentation is very, very different and is tuned to how our students will take it up. The second thing is that in our textbook, we are not giving the information. We are not assuming that the child doesn't know anything, the child cannot think anything, and only teacher will tell, and only then the child will understand that. So we have done away with that. We are using the inner strength of each child to think, to understand, to learn by himself, because that's the key of success, to learn by himself or herself. So self-thinking, the thinking capability. In all other kinds of schools education that we are seeing, this thinking component is very weak. So in our chapter, we are creating situations in which the students are encouraged to think and come out their own answers, own solutions. We are not saying that it will happen like this. We say that do it and see what happens. So this is how we are developing this science curriculum. and we believe that this will be very very compatible, adaptable with our children, and it should go well. Yeah, sure. See, to develop skills, and we are doing at middle school level now. Okay, what kind of skills we want to develop? It's not that we teach them some vocational things or some carpentry or some computer programming. We are not attempting at that stage, but the skill is exposure and then thinking. So we are exposing our students. See, in none of the syllabus at middle school level, I have seen anything about the earth science, which is so important, and lot of opportunities to work, to research, to contribute towards nation through that. The climates, we are not giving all these things. We are giving it in general, but in a very superficial way. We are giving a very planned exposure to many of the things. Ocean science, for example, in class 6, 7, 8, we are talking of ocean science. We are talking of earthquakes and how earthquake resistant things are done like that. So many of the things we are exposing the children, astrophysics, the space science, all these things we are trying to expose the student from very initial levels. So that is one kind of skill development. One should know the world, and then the skills will come up. The other thing which we are doing is that the modern measurement techniques, whatever. For example, in general at class 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, we use voltmeters and ammeters. I also did the same. I also studied the same way 60 years ago with same voltmeter and same ammeter. But we are introducing multimeter at class 7 level itself. We are using breadboards, which are very necessary for designing the circuit. One designs the circuit on the breadboards, only then after it goes for mass production, and all computer circuits and all those things are. First, they are designed on the breadboard, and we are exposing this breadboard technology or this breadboard performance and working with breadboard only in class 7 itself. So these are some of the things which will develop our students to do anything, anywhere, in any lab, any institution. Our students will go, or in public they will go and do something. They will know all this, where the world is going and what kind of things are there which they have to use. So the study should not be in isolation. The study should prepare the student to help the world, to help our planet to grow. So those kind of skills are being developed from the very beginning, and the best part, I will again repeat, the best skill to be developed is ability to think, ability to analyze, ability to comprehend, and those things we are putting in our curriculum, in our syllabus, in our textbooks. See, everything is important. I will not say that science is important. Everything is equally important, whether it is science, whether it is commerce, whether it is fine arts, whether it is whatever stream, all are important. Science is also important, and science is important in one sense that the world in which we are living is being governed by certain laws, certain rules, and the science is to study those things. And if we do science, then we prepare ourselves to make our world better, to face the difficulty, to find the solutions of difficulties. So those things are there. But it's not that anything else is less important than science. Everything is important. Our nation will need everything. The thing is, the best part of thing is that once again, we train our students through science in logical thinking, in ability to understand the situation, in ability to solve the problem. So these are the kind of things that we train up our students through science. So it's a vehicle to prepare our children in a better way. See, the first thing is the parents should themselves do logical thinking. Okay, I was in Patna a couple of days ago, and I saw a building, nice building, and the signboard which was there says that coaching classes for nursery to class 5 according to CBSE pattern. And parents are sending their children there. That is why the building is there, and that is why the signboard is there. Now, if you don't believe your child, what message you are giving to the child through these kind of things? You are giving the message to the child that you cannot do anything without external assistance. You are going to school, but you won't be able to understand by yourself what your teacher is teaching, and therefore you need an extra help. So from the very beginning, if this extra help is provided to the child, how will they develop and how they will start working and thinking their own or finding solutions of the problems? So believe the child. The child has lot of capacity of thinking, of analyzing, of learning, of cramming, everything, huge capabilities. We ignore that strength. We just ignore that strength and think that our children are, they don't know anything, and we will tell, and we will have to put in all these external influences and interactions. So you believe your child. You yourself, whatever way you are spending the life, look at that in a very positive manner. And the way our Indian tradition is to look at the life, to look at the world, and create an atmosphere where the student can learn by himself or herself. That is important.